In my last uh, video, we saw me playing with the black pieces and just losing the win by a small margin. And I hope that game to the players who are, below my rating was helpful. And in this game, I'll go through, you know, another of my game where I have white pieces. And one of the things is that, why am I not using the analysis? Because the analysis is confusing. Many of the times it's confusing, and it's it just, like, let's say it's an engine. It's a very powerful engine. It's 3,800 rated or 3,500 rated. It can beat Magnus Carlsen. If it says today that, this is, and I tell you this is a good move, and the analysis just goes down, or it just goes up, in a way that I did not predict, it's very bad for your confidence and stuff. You're just going to learn the thought process here, and hope that it's going to be very good for you. Anyways, let's jump into the video. We will, in this position right here, you're probably thinking what happened. It's actually a Slav defense against the Queen's Gambit, but the order slightly shifted. So, and this is theory. For me, this is theory. I'm not so sure about you. He plays his knight, I play my knight, normal developing move. And in this position, I was like, I want to create two weaknesses here, and it's also a position I've played many times and brought me some sort of success. So I don't really waste that much time. You can see it's only 7 seconds. And I go here, attack, like putting pressure on 2 pawns. This happened, and you don't really play after, like, normally many people say chess is memorization, but normal players like us, we really play from the point of understanding. And I'm pressuring 2 pieces, and he defends both the pieces, but you can see it's stretched. He defends the pawn that's on b7 and the pawn that's on d5, and his idea is that he's going to defend both of them by using his queen. But you see, his d5 pawn, it's protected with 2 pieces, but one of those pieces can be attacked. The knight can be attacked, and then my attackers are still there, and I can still take the piece. So I just go and attack his, defender. And he brings his knight out. I take his defender. I take it with the queen, because I just thought that, more active piece in the center. Now he brings his rook, and in this position I contemplated, like, there are 3 attackers on my d5 pawn, and there are like 2 defenders or something, and it's such a position that I thought, like, if I do not take, I simply blunder my queen. If I move it somewhere else, they take my pawn. So it's better for me to just take the queen. I take the queen, they come up with here. Now, there's a knight fork hanging. And the knight fork is here, let me show you. There is, okay. The knight fork idea, well, let me show this now. The knight fork is this, and then the knight comes to c2 and forks my king and the rook with a check. So I was always keeping my eye there, and if it would have come here, my plan in the game was to go here, and you can see it's still winning, it's not losing. So that was like my plan and stuff. But anyways, so I play this. He puts his bishops and prepares for castle, and I develop it. Now I can go 2 ways about this. I can just play this move, which is winning, but I play this move because it's much more powerful, because my earliest, it's not like theory, you don't have to be upset about it. I took 10 seconds because I was like, if I develop my bishop, if he moves his knight for a fork, I can take his rook with a check, and then I can also stop the, knight fork and stuff. So that's why I'm choosing between a passive move and an aggressive move. Like, this one is better, just choosing the better move. I'm not going for the instinct, but calculating a little bit deeper and finding a little bit better move. So I go there, he goes here, and I castle. I do not take the knight right now. Not right now, because I think like I can hold on to it. He goes here, I go here. Why I play this move? Because, still it's a good idea to just keep your opponent off, your shores. So he goes here, he kicks me, I come back. A little bit of a passive move, you can say. But to me, I was like, I think I can, like, I have not run this through analysis, but, like, many people would just go here. The engine is showing this move, but, I mean, not really. This is 0.9, this is 0.94. I just, thought that this was a good move, and, I don't want to go there and just go here and then go here and then go here. These are like moves, you can see that, just puts your bishop there, and you hope that it will ultimately be fruitioned. But I just thought these two squares, like right here, the square on e2 or the square on b3, are not that different. I can always bring my bishop out. So I just, put them there, and the eval shows the same thing. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to pull it back. Long story short, he castles. Now, this is where I make a mistake. My knight, first of all, loses its defender. Second of all, he could have taken my knight like this with a pawn, because my knight is hanging. What he did, just by playing this pawn push, I allow him to take a pawn, and even if I take his knight, he takes my knight, I'm not that much better anymore. And chances are, if I may have even played a move like this to defend my pawn, and I would have lost the game, because the bishop would have taken me, So these were all possibilities, and but that didn't happen. Instead, my opponent played this move, and this is a very bad move. Look at this. What does this move do? It does not provide any activity or anything. Why would you play this move? I don't know. He took his passive rook and turned it even more passive. I don't know. Maybe he was trying for a kingside attack. That may be an idea, but I think if that was an idea, maybe that was like something worth doing. But if that was not the idea, then that is a very bad move. You turned your rook much more passive. I defended my knight. He went there. And I was like, okay, maybe he's, going to attack my knight. So I move it, and my assumption was right. Now you can see he has put his rook back on an active square, but he had lost the tempo, so don't do these kind of things. And now you can see that my opponent has, kind of made double attacking moves. Now, what I expected here when I moved my knight also, that he's gonna exchange. He's gonna, look at this. It's 2.23. You take, I take. It's 2.66, 2.255. It's slightly better. It's always better to keep your pieces. It's mostly better. It's not always better. Okay, but instead, I was surprised that he had the nerves and he came here, and I was like, okay, that's a problem. And then I went here. Now, why this move? This move is here because, well, I was like, okay, fine. You have made your point. If I now go for the trade, you get the open file, and I have to kind of compensate, and you come in my position, you wreak havoc. I stop you from coming in my position completely. Like, go here, And you can see this is the top engine move, because this, if you take and I take, this is what if you take, sorry, wrong move, jumped ahead. Well, that is, I have connected pawns, I have a passer that I'm ready to make a queen. So that's the idea. I was like, okay, I'm gonna just do that. And so I do this. My opponent's like, what are you doing? I can take your rook at any time, and you're going to be like, we're going to take your rook and any time, and there's no threat. He thought there's no threat, but he has not seen this move, and he resigned. Why he resigned? Because you cannot stop one of your rooks from getting lost, you know, and that's what he saw. That's why he resigned. And I hope you learned a thing or two from the game. Like, for example, I think the point you learned the most is, you know, removing a defender and then grabbing onto the piece, because why not? And you can also see I didn't keep my queens on the board, you know, something that I normally do, but I don't do it. I didn't do it now because it's just not worth it. You know, as soon as I move my queen, there are 3 attackers on my pawn. Maybe I remove my queen to a square where I can defend it, but it's too much hassle, and still I lose a pawn. So I calculated and I did this, and also, like, this is better, like choosing, you know, this move over this move, because activity and tactics, and I have calculated this, that now you cannot come in for a knight fork. You come here, you will lose your rook. So yeah. And sorry, what the hell? Okay, yeah. Now we go here. No, well, that's a move. That's a move. The engine suggests this, but again, you do this. I go here. You go here. I mean, it makes no sense. Come on, who's gonna see that deep? No one's gonna see that deep, right? So, anyways, this one was probably a learning highlight, and here you saw me make a mistake. You know, I should have seen that you can just, you know, sack the knight for a pawn and win in exchange. I didn't see it, my opponent didn't see it, and I came in here, he came in here, we got into here. And now another important thing, to trade is a mistake, because if, like, you know, here he takes his position, he didn't lose material, but he went into a worse position right now. So do not trade early unless there's an advantage. Go here, and as he came in, just lock it shut. You know, lock it shut. Make sure you don't trade in such a way that the opponent gets an open file. So that was the lesson, and then this. A beautiful knight, you know, rook blunder. And that is that. That is my video. I'm not so sure. I'm kind of tired. I may upload it tomorrow. In that case, we'll meet each other in tomorrow. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and we will see you in the next one. For now, goodbye. Thank you for watching.